You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Mary Walters is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's see. What can we celebrate today? National Violin Day. National Day of the Horse. Okay, now I'm looking at this one. Now, this is funny. Okay, so only you thought that was a good one too, right? National Day of the Horse, kind of as dumb as it gets.
I got a little chuckle, but
okay, are you ready for this? There is a Senate resolution for this one. Now, the only thing I can say about having a Senate resolution for National Day of the Horse is maybe they weren't wasting any more money if they're working on this. Maybe they're not wasting money somewhere else. National Guard Birthday, that's a good one. I like that one. But I think Josh probably has us covered right here. National Hot Cocoa Day. Okay, we got that. Can we put a little Baileys in that maybe?
I was just thinking that. I was like, I'll take some Baileys right now.
Little cocoa with Baileys. I don't know. It's a Monday morning, so if I had cocoa with Baileys, I'm not sure I'd get much done the rest of the day. Some people might like that idea, but that's a whole different story. Hot cocoa, Baileys, little whipped cream on top.
Sold.
There we go. Okay, let's move along and let's see what else is going on in the world. Dow Jones is now down 324 points. S&P 500 is down 36. Back on that blooper reel, Josh. S&P 500 down 36. NASDAQ down 196. Oil 71.39 a barrel. So driving the NASDAQ, I was this morning. We've hit an all-time intraday high on Apple stock. Giving back some of that right now, though. Now at 178, I saw one of the analysts came out. $215 a share. I will be smiling mightily if Apple hits $215 a share. So that's just watching a little bit of the markets. The 10-year Treasury down almost 7 basis points, 1.41. What's driving all this stuff on the negative level here? Well, I guess one person on planet Earth died from the Omicron virus. One person. Not even, now we don't know if they were vaccinated. We don't know if they had comorbidities. They could have had, the way we report things nowadays, it could have been somebody that had a heart attack and had the virus as well, and they say that was what caused it. But, and obviously we never make fun of people dying. That's not funny. But when you think about the way the markets are reacting to this variant, and you listen to Flip-Flop Fauci, right? I mean, what he has to say, is that guy got any credibility at all left, other than him on MSNBC? Hee-haw, right? I think that's the only place that anybody even listens to him. Although they could do a skit, and I'm not a big fan, but I know that there are some people that watch Saturday Night Live, right? That could be a skit on Saturday Night Live, just having him on there in the first place, because nobody pays attention to him anymore other than maybe a few people in politics that are trying to sell the garbage that he's spewing. Think about this one. I mean, we're going to have this virus around forever. I'm not sure at what stage you have to have vaccination booster number 765. It might now Pfizer, they're pushing for that. I just throw that out there. I got some family members that work for Pfizer, so they don't like me too much. But that's okay. There's a lot of people that don't. But here's the issue: is I mean, you just watch some of these things and you wonder why are we paying so much attention to it? The only thing I like about Pfizer right now is if I own the stock, it's up $2.90 a share right now. So if you are a Pfizer stockholder, hasn't done great during this whole pandemic. I wouldn't, for as much money as the federal government has spent with them, wasted with them in some people's opinion, like mine. But I move right along. Hey, we've got some breaking news here. I don't know if you caught this one, but we do have breaking news. Vice President Harris has solved the problem of illegal immigration. They're going to put a Pepsi plant in Central America. Does anybody understand how that's going to solve the problem? Pepsi, Cargill, I think I saw Microsoft. They're going to put in broadband down there, so that's going to solve the problem. And the best one I saw of all of them, you got to love this one. Nespresso is going to spend $150 million on coffee, buying it from Honduras and El Salvador, and that will solve the problem. I can't make it up. I mean, I don't know how that has any bearing on this issue, but as much as she does and as much as she accomplishes anyway, I guess that's keep her out of trouble. Maybe we could send her down to Honduras and maybe she'll collect some of the beans down there. I don't know, but Nespresso. So let's think about that. I mean, I did buy my wife an espresso machine. It sits on the counter. We never touch it. It's good for collecting dust. I think we use it as a paperweight now. But those pod things, they're expensive. So I don't know. Maybe you have to take the pod with you on your trip from Honduras to the border. I don't know how many of those pods you can carry. I don't know if you have electricity. Are you an espresso drinker?
I'm not.
I mean, I don't get it. And they put those little if you haven't, have you seen the thing at least?
No.
Okay, so it's a gimmicky Keurig. I guess it's an overpriced Keurig machine. And they come out with these little pods. They're a semicircle, and you open up the lid, and the pod slides out. And they have little coffee cups to determine or to show you what the strength of the coffee is that you're making. So you get a little 1 to 10 cup. I don't know what that has to do with solving the illegal immigration problem. But hey, the vice president said it, so it must be so. I don't know.
You know better than that.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But hey, there's people that are buying that stuff. Did you notice this one over the weekend also? Surprise, surprise. I think at least... Surprise. Chris Wallace giving up his job at Fox News, or maybe they just didn't want him back. I think that's probably one of the best reports I saw of the weekend. I think he's going to go over to the Clown News Network and be doing CNN Plus. So they don't have a job for it. It's pretty bad when... you get Cuomo is fired and you get all these others that have no ratings. And where do they decide that Chris Wallace will do best? On their streaming platform. Does anybody watch CNN streaming? Nobody watches CNN on TV, so why would they watch them streaming? Down 80% is their market share right now. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so Josh, I'm taking a look at this just for you. $3.10 a gallon. When you get to North Dakota, right? $3.10 a gallon. I don't know if you can bring any of that gas back with you, because we're down a little bit. $4.68. You do a little bit of driving, right?
A little bit.
$4.68 a gallon.
Painful.
Painful, exactly. I was able to get gas this weekend. I think at $4.25 or something like that. $4.68 is California gas prices. Arizona $3.75. Josh is at $3.88, but going to $3.10. right? I don't know. Are you going to drive out there? It's going to be cold. No. Snowmobile, maybe. That might be an idea. Hawaii, 433. I might have to change because we were going to go to Palm Desert, and it's cold there. We might have to go to Hawaii instead. I'm just throw that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, it's the monthly market report today. We're going to go over that. We've also got a new real-time real estate segment. If you think the housing market will slow this winter, think again. We don't believe that that's going to be the case. We'll make a case for that, give you some ideas why. Year-end financial checklist, 10 money tasks to complete by December 31st. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones now down 290 points. S&P 500 down 165. The NASDAQ is down 165. S&P 500 is down 3750. 10-year Treasury down 7 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up 16 basis points, which means interest rates are a little bit lower this morning than where they ended up last week. Why is all of that happening? Well, interesting stuff coming out. Just early notices coming out. I don't know if you've heard this one yet. Not too many people are reporting it. You hear it first. The Treasury Department right now is looking at additional oversight. Does that surprise anybody? And regulation on cash real estate transactions. I hadn't heard this. I knew that there was a lot of question marks about art and using artwork for money laundering, but I guess there's concern about cash transactions and money laundering. I don't know how that works. You see transactions going through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have a cash transaction, if it goes to escrow, they've got to document where the money came from, don't they?
Yes.
I don't understand that one, but that's the Treasury Department. Janet Yellen, we know about her, right? Not a whole lot of news coming out today, but it's going to be a busy news week. We did get the CPI last week. I told you about that. Prices going up at 6%. Income going up at 4%, and the president thinks that's a good idea. Guess he's a little bit out of touch right there, but that's a different story. Federal Reserve is meeting this week. We're going to hear from them on Wednesday. We're going to find out if they're going to increase their tapering programs. What's that mean? Well, they've been the biggest buyer of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. And they're saying, well, they might slow down that buying, going from $15 billion a month in a slowdown to $30 billion a month. Usually that's been not poor, doesn't help the bond market, doesn't help our mortgage-backed securities. But this time it seems like maybe the market wants to see the Federal Reserve get out of the way. We'll watch that for you. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. So we get our market report every month, right around the 10th it comes in. So Mary is good enough to come in and join us, usually the first Monday right after the 10th of the month. And we kind of digest what some of these reports are saying. Normally, Mary, they're talking about the second quarter of each year being the busiest real estate month.
Yep.
And some folks are thinking that might not be the case right now. What do you think?
That'd be great.
I
love it. I like it.
Don't wait is basically what the report is saying. So here's the thesis, and we'll see what your thoughts are. So if property prices are going up and the Federal Reserve wants the interest rates to go up to kind of tame inflation, do you think people should be waiting to buy when interest rates go higher, or should they act sooner?
They should be buying now.
Right. So if they're buying now, and if people that sell a house generally need somewhere to live, right? So they're going to buy a house.
Yep.
So they need to sell now too.
Yep.
Think it's going to pull all this forward?
I hope so.
Do you think it'll slow down the second quarter then? Do you think that'll take market share away from them?
I would say not very much. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, it's still the same people that only serious buyers are out in December, January, February.
Yep.
Right. If you've got kids, you still want to wait until summer to move.
It's easier.
It's a lot easier with schools and all that stuff. So home sellers have historically moved when something in their lives changed, like a new baby, a marriage, a divorce, new job. Pandemic has impacted everyone, and for many, this became an impetus to sell and make a housing trade. That's from Jessica Lotz, VP of Demographics and Behavioral Insights at the National Association of Realtors. I don't know if that's changed at all, though, right?
No.
I mean, it's always been babies, marriage, divorce, job, transfers.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that the pandemic changed was everyone realizing they can work from home, and working from home probably isn't going to go away anytime soon.
Right.
So they didn't have to be like in the city super close to home. They were going to more suburbs, like wanting more space.
A little more space. That's the whole thing right there. Realize that, something, I don't need that 1-bedroom, 600-foot condo anymore. I can go out in the suburbs for half the price and maybe enjoy life a little more.
Yep.
Pandemic likely spurred occupants to shorten their home stay as tenure in the home decreased to 8 years from 10 years, according to the National Association of Realtors. Largest single-year change in home tenure since NAR began collecting the data. Think people are moving quicker?
I think it's what we just spoke about. People, wanting more space or realizing they don't need to be where they are because they were trying to be close to their job.
So you went from that 10-year to 8-year just because you said, I don't need to be there.
Yep.
I'm out of here. Right? I don't need to go. Well, I wonder if it I don't know if we want to get into that, but does anybody really want to be in Los Angeles?
I don't.
No. Right? I mean, now you see some, even at Christmas. Now, Christmas arguably is the busiest time of the year, right, for every retailer. And some of the retailers are closing because they don't want to get robbed.
Yeah.
Right? That's pent-up demand. There's people that have been thinking about moving, and maybe they're not moving, and I think maybe for good cause, right? I mean, it's interesting that before, we always were at 6 years for the longest time, all the way basically from 1987 to 2008. Home tenure was right around 6 years, maybe 2009. The recession, we didn't have a lot of options. We couldn't sell, right? So it moved up to 10 years. Now we've got the options again, right? We're able to go out there and move. Pandemic has delayed plans for many Americans, and homeowners looking to move on to the next stage of life are no exception. Recent survey data suggests the majority of prospective sellers are actively preparing to enter the market this winter, according to George Ratui, the manager of economic research at Realtor.com. That's an interesting thought. So that would tell me that we need to be talking to painters, carpet cleaners. What else? What are the other things that you see that people really are doing on a regular basis to get ready to sell?
Yeah, just like you said, painters, carpet cleaners. That's
Gardener maybe?
Yeah, you don't have to do a lot, especially in this sort of market. But yeah, just spruce everything up just a little bit.
So part of that, I'm going to recommend that talk to a great realtor to get this guidance. Because what Mary just said, she kind of said it quickly, and I don't want you to miss it. You don't have to do a lot. Right? You're still seeing a lot of offers on properties?
Definitely.
So if I spend a lot of money on sprucing up my house, am I going to get that money back?
Yes, you will. I mean, it's not, but in today's real estate market, you're not going to see a huge return on that. Like you're going to get.
You're going to get it back, but
Yeah,
maybe not 4 or 5x.
you wouldn't have to spend that money, honestly, to get what you're going to get.
Okay, so declutter, good pictures,
Exactly.
great pictures. Get rid of the dead plants. You don't want people driving up to your house with a bunch of dead plants out front.
Yes.
It's supposed to rain today, so it never rains in California, but I think we're going to get a little today. We'll see what happens. Majority of sellers entering the market in the next year plan to list in the next 6 months, according to Realtor.com. 65% have just listed. 19% are planned to list this winter. 19% have just listed. Are you seeing a lot of listings coming up?
Not a lot.
Okay. 93% have already taken steps toward listing their home, including working with an agent. 28% have already selected their agent. So that would tell me that if that were the case, that would be coming soon, wouldn't it? Is that where you would see it as a professional realtor?
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of coming soon on the market?
Yeah.
Okay,
More of
so
them.
and again, the numbers that I'm looking at here, I just reported, those are national numbers. Mary's seeing what's local, right? So we could say the exact opposite and both be correct because of me looking at national, her looking locally. 36% have researched the value of their home and others in their neighborhood, as well as started making repairs or decluttering.
Only 36% have started researching what their home's worth.
Right. I mean,
I feel like that's a little low.
yeah. Why don't you know what your home's worth at any given time?
Mm-hmm.
Right? rsrhomedigest.com. Free tool from your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. rsrhomedigest.com. And we'll send you one email every month and tell you what your house is worth. It's not a difficult thing, and there's no charge for it. You don't even have to go to your neighbor and ask them what they think your house is worth. Danielle, and they don't know anyway, so it doesn't matter. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com. In fact, ironically enough, this is funny. So I'm at a party Thursday night, and the people are contemplating moving to Tennessee, and they haven't listed their house. And so I just threw out, I'm not a realtor, so I don't know property values that worth anything, just like most people. So I said, what do you think your house is worth? Like 1.5 or so? And he said, yeah, that's about it. And then I look, and 3 houses down is listed right now at $1,888,000.
Oh, wow.
Now, in my math, is that about 20% off?
A little bit.
Right? And that's $388,000 difference. I don't know about you, but I don't want to sell for $388,000 too low. I'm just saying that it might not be the right thing. That's a lot of money to leave on the table. Listings rose for the second week in a row, with our recent survey data suggesting that a growing share of homeowners are potential sellers eager to find new homes. There's no reason to believe this may be the start of a welcome trend, especially as we move into the colder months. Yeah, it's really cold here in Southern California.
I'm freezing.
Are you okay? Okay, so I don't even have a heater in here. Sorry, Mary. We'll turn on some more lights, right? So I think it's going to be 60 degrees in Southern California today?
Freezing.
What do you think Josh says? He's going to Fargo right next week. So he's gonna know what freezing is. Right? I mean, he's sitting there in the casino right now just watching us. So I don't know. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to continue with the monthly market report. We've got a year-end financial checklist. We're going to talk about 10 money tasks, maybe not money making, but 10 money tasks to complete by December 31st. And if you still think the housing market will slow this winter, think again. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you, but the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Or you can go to rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. If you think the housing market will slow this winter, think again. From the opportunity to take advantage of today's low mortgage rates to changing homeowner needs, Americans have more motivation than ever to buy a home. According to the experts, buyers are making moves right now, creating an unseasonably strong housing market for this time of year. As we wrap up the fall season and move into the winter months, here's a look at what several industry leaders have to say about the continued momentum in the current market and what it means as we head into the early part of next year. Lawrence Yun, Chief Economist, National Association of Realtors, quote, this solid buying is a testament to demand still being relatively high as it is occurring during a time when inventory is still markedly low. The notable gain in October assures that total existing home sales in 2021 will exceed 6 million, which will shape up to be the best performance in 15 years, unquote. Odetta Cushy, Deputy Chief Economist, First American, quote, so far in November, purchase applications point to another strong month in sales. Still low rates and demographic demand support this strength, even as affordability and inventory headwinds remain, unquote. The M Report, quote, the demand for housing in the United States has reached a fever pitch, a trend that opposes the norm of this time of year when the market cools as the winter months set in, unquote. Mark Fleming, Chief Economist, First American, quote, strong demographic demand will continue to act as the wind in the housing market sails. Okay, what does this mean for winter housing market? Buyers are actively in the market. They're competing for homes to purchase with the momentum coming out this fall. All signs point to the winter housing market picking up steam, making it much busier than in a more typical year. And as we've seen in so many ways, 2020, 2021 were anything but typical in real estate. Looks like 2022 may be joining that list before we know it. Bottom line, if you think the housing market will slow down this winter, think again. Whether you're thinking of buying a home, selling your house, or both, let's chat. Are you seeing the housing market slow down?
No.
Not really, huh?
No, it's the same old story still lack of supply.
Yeah, okay. So if that's the case, I mean, so you're seeing the lack of supply. Are you seeing more on your listings coming in? Are there people actually listing anything?
Yeah, there are. But I mean, we're still at like a almost historically low.
Okay.
Like listing count in Orange County for.
And okay, so again, the numbers I just shared and these quotes that I'm giving you, those are national. Mary's telling you what's going on right here in Southern California. Now you're Orange County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County,
San Diego, LA.
San Diego now. So basically the five majors. Sorry, Ventura, which right, the five majors of Southern California. So too far. Okay. So the bottom line is that locally here, where you're listening to us right now, unless it's on the World Wide Web, right? It's everyone's. You're still seeing that activity. So the whole concept is get out there if you really want to. Good morning, Tony. Glad to see you with us this morning. If you're watching us again on any of our streaming channels, if you're listening to us on ABC, sorry, I can't talk to you right now. It'd be 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening. We record every morning at 9 a.m. on all of our social channels. Love to always have people sharing their thoughts on what we're talking about. Sometimes we even go and review what they're saying on there. Sometimes we don't. Okay, interest rates moving up. Now, I laugh. Mary laughs at me, right? Because we look and see where have interest rates been when I started buying a house. right
I
now it's
laugh with you.
with me. Okay. 3.1 right now.
Mhm.
And moving up. People are really worried about that.
Yeah, scary times.
Is there anything to worry about?
No.
Right? Think about that's why people can buy more expensive housing,
Hmm.
is because really when you think about it, the interest rates are pretty much about half of what they were in 2008.
Yep.
And the biggest portion of every purchase, I'm not the cash people, is the interest. Right?
Yep.
Look at those the 75 versions of the truth in lending that you get in a loan package. Right? Congress always says, here's another one. They don't take out an old one, but so that's why we're at 137 pages right now. But every one of them shows these numbers, and the biggest part of every transaction is that interest portion. So just think about that. 2020, okay, so even 2018, almost 5% interest.
Hmm.
Right? So that's about a 40% discount right now.
Yep.
It just doesn't make sense to really be worrying about some of these numbers. Now the question becomes, what does interest do to the move in real estate? That's one of the big question marks that we hear all the time. Interest is going to go up, so we're going to stop. People are going to stop moving.
No.
Not going to happen.
No.
They're still getting older.
Yep.
That doesn't stop. Well, there's only one way that stops, and then they're not going to buy a house. Right? That's just throwing that out there. They might have a house to sell. But so that issue we don't have to worry about. Getting older, creating families,
Yep. having
kids, maybe wanting at some point to downsize,
Hmm.
maybe getting rid of the kids' room so they don't come back. Right? That's I shouldn't say that I've tried that, but it doesn't work very well. But the whole idea here is home prices just have a very minimal impact, or the interest rates have a minimal impact on people moving.
Mhm.
Mark Fleming, chief economist, First American, house price appreciation is resistant to rising mortgage rates. He agrees with us.
What did you just say?
Yeah, primarily because most home sellers would rather withdraw from the market than sell at lower prices. Phenomenon referred to as downside sticky. That's an interesting thought, right? If I can't get the price that I want for my house,
Mhm.
I keep it.
Unless you're in a situation like where you need to sell,
Right.
just stay put.
Now, if I can't get the price I want for my house, maybe I can refinance it
Hmm.
and still buy something.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, especially where how much money is out there right now and how much equity is out there right now.
Yeah, I had the number last week. It was trillions.
Hmm.
Right? There's trillions and trillions. Now, where is the money sitting? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Mary. Okay, it's the millennials, which not the millennials, it's the baby boomers, and those I forgot where the top side is. They're basically born up until 1964. $59 trillion worth of net worth. Millennials, okay, that's you. 5.2 trillion.
Hmm.
So where's the money? Right. So if you want to find a house to buy, go talk to a boomer. Right. That's pretty simple. Just go find the easy part. Right. The 10 times the amount. Home sales not impacted by rising mortgage rates. And we've got a chart for this one. If you want it, give us a call at 800-306-1990. Happy to share that with you. But according to NAR and Freddie Mac, you look at interest rates going up. If we look at 2011 through 2019, there's really not much change in the housing numbers or the housing sales, even though we've seen some zigzags in interest rates.
Hmm.
So that kind of tells us that it's kind of irrelevant.
Yep.
Right? So we're not worried too much about that one. Moving right along. Context matters for purchase demand. The economy is proving, and millennials continue to age into their prime home buying years in large numbers. So the context remains good for the housing market. That's Mark Fleming, chief economist. So as we know that 32, 33 years old is when the millennials are going to start buying their first house,
Hmm.
for the most part. I mean, there are exceptions.
Yeah.
And I think next year is when the biggest chunk of millennials turn 33, 32. They're going to be buying houses,
Yep.
which means demand.
Even higher.
Even higher, right? And we're already talking about how people are able are making good money. There's a lot of jobs out there,
Hmm.
right? I mean, Disneyland just went on strike to get more money. They got what about a 10 or 12% raise?
Mhm.
Trash collectors in North Orange County are on strike right now, so I'm sure they're going to get a raise. No trash if you, I don't know what you're going to do during this time of year, but no trash. Joe Ingram is watching us this morning. Good morning, Joe. Interest rates always fluctuate, and the market is still here. Exactly. And, of course, it would be nothing other than to get Joe. Downside sticky sounds like a dessert. Man after my own heart.
Oh, that does sound real good. I don't know what that is. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds good right there. Millennials be inheriting some of that $59 trillion, but X gets it first. Okay. So Joe's got some good stuff in here this morning. Glad you're piping in, Joe. Joe, I'm still one. Mary and I are still working on the downside sticky dessert.
With the hot cocoa with the Baileys.
There we go. Joe doesn't drink, but hot cocos, Baileys, a sticky dessert. We better finish this radio show before we leave. Does it show up? I don't think our drooling shows on the show. Okay, but let's move right along and see what else we've got going on here. So, do you find that people know you're in real estate? You've been doing this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do they ever ask you about real estate at holiday parties?
Real estate holiday parties?
No, real estate at holiday parties.
Oh.
Real estate.
Yes.
Okay, so do they want your opinion, or do they want you to have theirs?
They try to. Every single one just forces the opinion that, oh, well, the crash is coming. The crash is coming. And, I hate the question now, because I have to sit there and argue with them and say, no, the crash is not coming. There's no housing bubble right now.
So can any of them give you any logical reason why there's a crash coming?
No, not really. And again, this is something that you and I have talked about before, because I'm a millennial, so all my friends are millennials. The only boom and crash we've seen is 2008.
Right.
So that's what they're referencing, and that's what they're seeing. So
okay.
they're in the mindset, well, that's going to happen again. And I have to explain to them, like, no, the circumstances are different.
That's a big issue right there, right? I mean, because so many millennials have never, well, heck, I'm not sure if they even teach this stuff in school, but all you've experienced is the one real recession.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when property values did crash. It was one out of the last 6 or 7
mm-hmm. that
was really driven by real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact of the matter is, no matter how much people are saying that real estate is going to crash,
and that all the foreclosures are going to be flooding in soon, and that's
right.
what they're waiting for.
And the big question is, and if you think this, just let us know. But the question becomes, why?
Mm-hmm.
What's the catalyst for the crash? Right? So crashes, the boom, the big bust happened because prices were going up Mm-hmm. There was no reason for them to go up.
Yep.
Right now, there's a lot of reason for them to go up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basic economics is the reason they're going up.
Yep.
No supply, lots of demand,
mm-hmm.
low interest rates,
mm-hmm.
and desire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People want to own their own home. So if you're thinking that there's going to be a big crash, you have to start saying, why is it? That's kind of my thought process, right? When someone tells me there's going to be a rash of foreclosures, I hear the same thing. Old people say that too, right? Not just the millennials, right? And the big question I always have is why?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be the catalyst for it? Well, we have all these forbearances from the last year. Out of all of America, 1.2 million homes went through, or still haven't resolved their forbearance issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty small number out of America.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
Right? 1.2 million? Let's see it. Oh, Joe's back with us. So we've got, sounds like chocolate molten cake with caramel sauce underneath for the downside sticky, topped with butterscotch ice cream.
I'm going to need that recipe.
That sounds good, Joe. Joe, are you coming in today, or what's the deal? I mean, we need to get Joe in the studio. And I guess we better try and sell something here too. So you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, year-end financial checklist, 10 money tasks to complete by December 31st. That's all we got is 10 tasks. It's pretty simple. We can handle that. You can reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Year-end financial checklist, 10 money tasks to complete by December 31st. Not a lot of time for these. So let's take a look at them. Number one, max out your retirement account contributions. Now, a lot of people like the 401k. I am not a fan of the 401k. There are much better options out there than the 401k for most people. Take whatever your company will match, but that's about it. Traditional IRA, again, same scenario. There are better options out there. Again, whatever you can get in matching. If you're a business owner, you can go a different way, and there's a lot better options. But, hey, take care of it before the end of the year. Number two, estimate and adjust your tax withholdings. That's a biggie, right? I mean, the government doesn't. Do you really want the government to have your money all year tax-free? Is that your idea of a savings account? Now, there are some people, I guess, that can't save. Just a thought there. Spend any unused flexible spending account dollars, right? There's a lot of the programs don't allow you to carry over more than about $500. So if you have a flexible spending account, don't let it go to waste. Check for tax loss harvesting opportunities. Well, that's a good one, right? Tax loss harvesting. So if you are involved in the stock market at all, you've got gains and you've got losses, take a look at where your capital gains are so far and sell some of those losses so that you don't have to pay taxes. If you've got losses, well, you might want to take some of the gains so you don't have to pay taxes, right? So talk to your financial advisors about that. Consider a backdoor Roth conversion. Okay, I don't know about backdoor part, but here's the idea. Take a look at your tax bracket. Again, you got to talk to your tax advisor this time of year. How much money do you have, can you go on income until you go to the next tax bracket? Take that amount and convert it from your qualified account, your 401k or Roth if you can, or for 401k or IRA, put it into a Roth so it's growing tax-free for the rest of your life. Again, talk to your tax advisors. Number 6, donate to charitable causes. That's always a good one. You don't have to wait until the end of the year for that one, but donate. Number 7, enroll in a health insurance plan. Number 8, check your credit reports and FICO scores. MyFICO.com. MyFICO.com. Take your retirement plan RMDs. Okay, I don't need this one yet, but if you turn more than over, if you're at 72, you got to take that or a massive penalty. So if you're over that 72 or at 72 years of age, watch that one. Set financial goals for next year. Maybe it's to buy a new house. Maybe it's to take some money out of your existing property and buy that property that Mary's been talking about, right? Think about all of those things. If you want the full report, give me a call, 800-306-1990. That's a year-end financial checklist. Again, brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Did you change that on me? Your Credit Matters, brought to you by mysocallender.com. So we're going to go back and continue our conversation. Did any of those make sense to you? Did any of those resonate with you?
The tips?
Tips.
I mean, definitely talking about like retirement and stuff and trying to like get
it all in
income.
order.
Yeah, not just that, but see what you need to do so you can get your income down to get into a lower tax bracket.
It's always a good idea. I mean, watch where those tax brackets are.
That, and like you said, a lot of people, I think, make sure, like, look at what the government's withholding every single check. Make some adjustments. I'd rather probably owe the government than get a huge refund because, like you said, they have your money. You could be taking that throughout the year, and if you're saving it, be growing it through interest or investing it and growing your money a lot faster than your government holding on to every single.
Absolutely. Check. So I love this comment, Joe. You're exactly right. Joe and I think a little bit alike here. That's scary, right? No 401k unless it's matched. Whenever the masses are involved, it's not a great investment.
There you go.
Makes a lot of sense. Until you get dinged for unrealized stock gains. Thanks to Brandon. Okay. And Joe's favorite charity. You know what that would be, don't you? Send money to Joe. Yeah, you had to get one singer in there, didn't you? My basement buddy Joe. There we go. So let's move right along and see what else we've got going on here. Home price forecast for 2022. Now, I noticed that on the slides that we've got here that our team put together, we did not use CoreLogic because they're the ones that told us negative appreciation at the beginning of last year. They were just a little off. Fannie Mae 7.4, Freddie Mac 7, MBA 5.2, Home Price Expectation Survey 5.1, Zelman 3, and the National Association of Realtors 2.8. That's a funny one to me. Mm-hmm. The one that's got the biggest motivation, right? Maybe in a conflict would be NAR, and they have the lowest forecast for appreciation, right? And at 5.1. That's almost double and that's a national number. 5.1 is about double what the norm is. So in Southern California, we're probably going to be looking at double digit again.
Yeah, scary.
But those people that think that we're going to crash, Mary. I mean, look at all those folks that say it's going to crash, and here we are. And we know that I should have had this number up here, but I'll grab it real quick. The average for Orange County, California over the last 61 years. Should we guess at it?
Isn't it like 6%?
Something like that. I mean, I think it's over the last 61, I think it's 5.3 or 5.6. But my crack computer here is going to tell me 5.3 over 62 years. And the forecast here, 7.62 for next year, 1 year forecast. Chapman University is doing their forecast tomorrow. If you're going, let me know. I'll be there. So watch out for some of those numbers. Let's see what else we've got on our forecast here. Home sales forecast increase this year and perform well again in 2022. Home sales. So sales are increasing, but there are people that think that we're going to have a crash. No logic there. No logic. So we're going to move right along. Months of inventory. So you said earlier that we're still seeing properties sell quickly.
Yes.
How long are you seeing them stay on your board?
It's normally under 2 weeks.
Under 2 weeks.
Always.
So you get a listing, they log it, and within 2 weeks it's gone.
Yeah, normally it's a couple days, but sometimes a little longer.
So before the pandemic, about just rough. I don't want to put you on the spot. More or less than that 2 week time period.
Yeah, about 2 to 3.
Really? Okay, so back to months inventory of homes for sale. A buyer's market means it's more than 7 months. I think that we're not in a buyer's market at 2 to 3 weeks. Neutral is 6 to 7 months. Seller's market is anything less than 6 months. 2 weeks, I think, is less than 6 months. Last time I checked. Right? So we're in a seller's market, but potential growth in household wealth. That's the number that's just fascinates me, right? So $111,000. Think about some of these numbers where the potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years based solely on increased home equity. Now think about this. If you purchased a $350,000 house, now we're in Southern California, $350,000 is about down payment, right? I mean, that's not the typical house. So we're figuring double easily, right? So $222,000 in net worth over the next 5 years.
I'll take it.
Right? I mean, Now, how do you get it?
Got to buy a house.
Got to get in the game,
Mhm.
right? And listen to guidance, right? Not everybody has all the guidance for this. There's a lot of people out there that are saying buy, hold, and forget.
Mhm.
Probably not a good idea. Or I shouldn't say it's not a bad idea, but it's not the best idea,
Mhm.
right? Take your money.
Yep.
Home buyer guides are out, right? Text HBG to 79564. HBG to 79564. Home sellers guides, HSG to 79564. HSG to 79564. You can get that one as well. They're free. And if you want more personalized information, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Mary and her team. They've got all the personal and local information, right, in all 5 counties.
Yep.
They know what's going on because they're out there every single day. And if you want to reach Mary, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I say, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.